Oh, yes. Good morning, ladies jelly spoons. How we doing? Are we all right? I'm going to be chatting this morning about equity, mental health. Why? Why is there mental health? And we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of it. And hopefully this might explain a little bit to you of what's going on, all right, around not just this country, around the world, right? Absolutely around the world. And maybe what to expect in the future. Who knows? So this video is entitled Equity, okay? And because we failed in equity, morning Shirley, how are you, darling? You all right? We are in a situation why everyone has this mental health label, why they're all in such desperate situations, okay? Now, let me tell you on and for the record, there's a lot of people in this country right now that I've just been to work, by the way, that are really struggling, really like uber struggling. And now I'm someone, luckily enough, God has blessed me. I don't struggle. I have had struggling times. I have lived in my van for a month or two when I got divorced. So I was this far away from homelessness. I mean, this far, right? This far away from homelessness. Why have we even got homelessness? What's all that about? That's because we've got robber barons in this country. All right. But we're going to be talking about equity and what is equity? What is true equity? Okay. True equity is these are an equitable thing. My glasses, no man can take them away from me, right? But if he can, means that they weren't my equity. Now, it's very dangerous to claim to own something. And the so-called elites, I laugh when we call them so-called elites because they are so far from elites. They don't even claim to own the shirt on their back. They don't. It's all entrusted, okay? Their jets, their plane, everything, their cars, all entrusted. They don't own nothing. So that's why they so call themselves untouchables. But that's a bit of a fallacy in reality. So these glasses are my equity, okay? This microphone is my equity. Can some man in a uniform come along and take it away from me? You tell me. So this is why there's this mental health issue in this country, because everyone is uncertain and everyone has to bow down to the corporate dick. All right. So are you taking the corporate dick? Big question. Are you taking the big corporate dick? Are you taking the big corporate dick? So true equity means no man or woman can deprive you of your children, your homes, your cars, your property. And the word property is defined as what is proper to man. All right. Now, my missus is proper to me and I'm proper to her. We've been together 20 years. So that's quite a good, trusted relationship. So I'm proper to her. She's proper to me. My dog is proper to me, my property. And of course, when you start using this word property, that takes on a different dimension because we've all been trespassed on. So the reason why there's all this mental health going on and someone has to have a psychological assessment, this, that, the other, because they've had their kid taken, had their home taken, and they've been left at a loss and they can't figure out how it happens, is because there's so much instability in this world right now. And the people have been shafted, basically. Morning, Paul. We've been shafted. And because of that instability and that not knowing, this is why everyone has this mental health issue, because they've taken your kids, they've taken your car, taken your own. And it's always that threat, that fear. Cancel or make a claim on your house, take your house off you, okay? And they use their solicitors and their law society, which pretty much they own. The council and the law society are very much in bed with one another, ladies and gentlemen, and all the judges. It's a private mafia. It's a swindle, and we're now they're easy pickings. That's what we are. but it's not how it's supposed to be. It seriously is not how it is supposed to be. Your home should be your home. You should have 100% equitable title over your property. You should have 100% equitable title over your motor cars. You should have 100% equitable title over your kids, your children, your property. Your children are your property. Remember, the word property is what is proper to man. And we're all men and women, but we've been taking the corporate dick. Yeah? Just so happens that I've opened this book on PR. Let's have a look at the definition of the word property. Just bear with me. Prostate. No, we don't want to talk about prostate this morning. Propriety. Property. Hang on. Let's find property and give you the 100-year-old definition of the word property. Profit. Proper. Right, here we go. Right, proper. The word proper means one's own naturally or essential belongings, belonging to only one of a species as a name. Correct, just, right. Property, a peculiar or essential quality, that which is one's own, an estate, right of possessing, employing, etc. Ownership. You can't own anything. You can't own anything, let me tell you. So the word proper and the word property go hand in hand. Now, there should be no council that can make demands upon you. If your council can't make demands upon my glasses, council can't make demands upon my microphone or my flat screen or my boxing bag. Why? Because I've not formulated a contract with them. All right. Now, when we get into our council taxes, we acquiesce and we're giving up our property rights. When you vote, you give up your property rights, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here trying to educate you into the ways of how we used to be, because I know this to be true. So what is proper to man? What is proper to woman is your property. And if you're wronged and it's taken from you, that's trespass. All right. Let's have a look at the word trespass. Might as well. It's the only crime that the system commits on us. But it doesn't commit it if we allow it. If we allow it, if we get involved in all these contracts, I'll get a letter in the post. I don't like where it's come from. I'll send it back. I don't entertain. I won't let them trespass on me. So we're going to look at trespass. And this is what the system does every day. And listen, we have a system now with the police and that, with their confined areas, their own properties all secured with men with machine guns, with the police. You've got to understand, we're in really dangerous times, ladies and gentlemen. Really dangerous times. We've allowed this to manifest. And I'm not a bringer of bad tidings. I'm here trying to bring remedy for you all. Let's have a look at trespass. TRA. See if we can find trespass. Here we go. Trapeze. TRE. Treason. Betraying of the government or an attempt to overthrow it. Treachery. Treasonable treasure. Let's have a look for trespass. Our government is trespass. To enter unlawfully upon another's land, to inconvenience by importunity, to intrude, to injure, to annoy another, to sin, act of trespass in any injury to another or property. trespassing, bomb. These words are really powerful. I want you to understand how powerful the words property and trespass are. If you tell someone in a council and put them on notice that they're trespassing against a man or a woman, they're really in a sticky situation. So powerful. Trespass is really, and it's the only, I don't care whether they're nicking your homes, nicking your kids. Can you believe we live in a country where they trade in children? Can you believe that? Our system trades in children. Children are the new gold. They're currency. How sick is that? It's sick, isn't it? That we've become this depraved. But they nonchalant on, no problem. They don't see any harm to any soul in trading in children. They have no sleepless nights. They really don't care. You cancel people, don't care. The kids are money. As soon as a kid comes up for grabs, all the council's thinking is paperwork, let's trespass on an individual and their property, and let's make money out of it. How's that ever right? How's that ever fair? The police now, as I say, they've got military bases, big security gates. You can't go in. Years ago, when it was public and it was for the people, by the people, you could walk into a police station at any time, and you would have to have been treated with civility. And if you wanted to inspect the cells, you could inspect the cells because they were your properties. You paid for them. Yeah, it was your property. You contributed to this public purse, and you individually all owned and shared a portion of it. Well, not now. We've really dropped one. We've allowed these people to really get a grip. That's why Tracy Blackwell, bless her heart, will never see any justice for them boys and her son Josh. Never will do. Because the system doesn't care. The loss of a soul, 3 boys, means nothing to them. Money's their God. That's all they're interested in. As soon as they see an individual vulnerable mother or father trying to bring up a few kids, they're hanging around that family like vultures swirling around a carcass, just waiting for that opportunity to pounce. That's exactly what they do. They don't care. They don't care about the kids. We're doing it for their safety. No, you're not. You're doing it to make money. Let's have it right. Let's have the truth. My council tax folk, just send it back. Magical Birdie, oi, darling, how are you? Lovely to see you. So, the words property and trespass are really, really powerful because you can only trespass on a man or a woman, and you can only steal a man or a woman's property. If you address your children as property in a court, they will scream and shout and kick at you because they're trying to take you off the truth, the blind truth. And the blind truth is they are indeed your property because it is proper to man. That's the word proper means proper to man. And my children are proper to me as I am proper to them. Okay? But they're dealing in kids. We have police bases now with men with machine guns there and weapons of war. And we're not allowed in. We're not allowed to know what goes on behind them secret doors. It's really scary. Really, and they pick you all off on an individual daily basis. They drag you into these compounds. Lord knows what goes on to you. Since the late 1980s, there's been almost 2,000 souls that have perished in these buildings covered up. I want you just to imagine lining up 2,000 bodies alongside one another. Line them up. No justice. Now we've got a situation with this COV juice. No coroner. No coroner will determine the cause of death. No coroner is allowed to, and I think autopsies are satanic. I've got to be honest with you. I think to cut a body open, to take its brain out, to cut the roof of the mouth out, take the tongue out, and pull the brain out and take all the internal organs out, and then to bag it all up and put it back in their stomach and stitch them up is devilish. I know they're dead. I know they can't feel nothing, but what a desecration of the temple. Yeah. All for medical science, which is a load of baloney. When the pen is mightier than the sword, what will it take to take back control? I don't know. We're at a pivotal point, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to actually, if I was on my StreamYard, I'd have played you a video. I played it yesterday. It was so powerful, and it is why you feel the odd one out, why you feel like you feel, and it's because you're connected to the etheric form, ladies and gentlemen. If you feel like I feel when all these things go on and you feel like you're on your own, you are not. The reason why you feel what you feel is because there's a lot of people out there that are bots, soulless, that are just scurrying around, doing what they're doing, taking orders because they don't have that connection to the etheric form, to the spirit world. You do. If you tune into people like me and you listen to the words we say and you resonate and you feel and you have empathy, like my friend Lauren, when my dog passed away 4 to 5 years ago at Christmas, I was heartbroken. I'd lost my boy Rotty, and he was such fun, and I love him and I think of him every single day. My friend Lauren offered me one of his dogs because he could see that I was hurting. Now, there is no money that can buy that. There is no sentiment that can explain that. Why did Lauren choose to offer me one of his loved ones? Because for God so loved the world that he gave. John chapter 3, verse 16. He didn't take, he gave. And although the gesture was mighty fine and it hit me right there, I couldn't deprive my brother of his loved one. But I never ever forgot what he said. And he meant it. He meant it. So we, the ones that are tuning in right now, the ones that can sense all of what is going on, you're not alone. You're all together in one consciousness. You have the ability to tap into source energy, to source control, to the etheric form, and your soul and spirit is feeling the damage being done to all of us, and you find it intolerable. Now, if you was a bot like the majority of the world that couldn't care less, you can sit here and tell them all day long that children are being abused, that they're being sold on the open market. They couldn't care. They show no emotion. No emotion whatsoever. Couldn't care less. It's like water over a duck's back. And it bothered me for many years till I watched this video. And I'm like, that really makes sense. They're not the same as me. They don't have the soul and spirit that I possess. I possess a very deep, meaningful soul and spirit. I know love. I know that vibration of the spirit world and the etheric form. Many don't. Many really are so detached that they truly do not know who they are. They have no connection to their soul, their humanity, what makes them men and women. Yeah, mankind. They're so disconnected. And I don't hold nothing against them, not at all. But this video I watched yesterday, it just labeled it up for me so perfectly. They don't have the soul and they don't have the spirit. They're bots, like robots, like iRobots. But you, my beautiful men and women, friends, have the soul, the spirit, the etheric form. You have that and you feel it and you see what is going on in this world, and you're deciding that I'm not having that. I'm going to walk a different path. That's why all your friends and families are walking away from you, because you're separating yourself, because You're happy in your own skin, molding and crafting a world that you want to see, that you're not prepared to follow the rest of the herd. So you're manifesting your own reality, a new reality, and you're walking that path on your own. Why are you walking it alone? Because you have the spirit world and the etheric form with you. You don't need the qualification from other men and women. You just know you are part of the universe. You are part of that love, that vibration, that source energy. That's why you're finding yourself alienated. You're finding yourself, your friends, your families really don't phone you much anymore. But do you need that qualification? No, you don't. Why? Because you're strong. Because you have a strength within you that you love them, but you don't need their qualification to know who you are. You know that you're walking in the light. You know you're walking in the truth. You know that you're walking amongst this earth right here, right now, with people that are soulless. They're soulless. To just beat someone because you've got a uniform on and kill them and harm them and nick their kids, nick their homes with machine gun. You're soulless. You don't have a soul. You're a bot, a robot, an iRobot. And it bothered me for years. Why do they do it? Why have I witnessed police nick people's homes? Why have I witnessed them nick their children? I now know the answer to that question. They're soulless. They have no soul. They have no empathy. They care not about the soul. They're only interested in their own ends and getting that paycheck and doing what they got to do. They will kill you. These bots will now kill you. These police will now kill you. They will harm you. They will bend you up. They will cuff you, make your wrist bleed, because they're nasty people. They've lost touch of their soul, that divine connection, that spirit. They don't have it. And that's the truth. And that's the only simple truth. They've lost their ability. They've lost their connection with spirit. They've lost their connection with the universe. They've lost their connection with this place. And I am telling you now, it's so sad. Because the true gift of all of this is knowing who you are. It's knowing that you are connected to all of this and that you're all equal and that you should all be looking out for one another. And it's all about the preservation of the soul and the spirit. And that's why you lot tune in. And that's why you all go out and do what you're doing. That's why you're all walking your path to your own personal greatness. Now, true, we need unity. We do. We absolutely need unity. Now, I know that there is a new mankind coming. Seeing it every day. People are standing up, questioning, challenging. We're seeing judges fall. We're seeing judges back down. We're seeing judges cry because they've realised that they've been operating too much in the darkness. But ladies and gentlemen, as the sun is now beaming in this room, lighting on my face, the light beats it all. I could never, ever do a job where I steal someone's property, where I kick their doors in, crash their gates in, and nick their property, nick their children. They're scumbags. And they can try and justify, oh, we're working on behalf of the council, we're just following orders. No, you're still a scumbag. You're still a scumbag. Because you're harming souls and spirits. And that's the truth. That's what we are. We're souls and spirits. Trudy Horn, lovely to see you, darling. So, remember these words: property and trespass. Anguish. Let the system know that it is causing you anguish. Okay? When these councils write out to you for your council tax, they couldn't care about you. They really couldn't care. They're just interested in money. Money's their God. This piece of paper with the Queen's head and all the Masonic symbols is their God. They know no other. They really do know no other. And I spoke to many people in these councils on the phone over the years, and got frustrated. But I now realise that I was talking to bots, robots. Couldn't care less. Just following orders, just harming the spirit and sanctity of this great country and the people that reside in it. They don't care. Couldn't care less. They go home overnight, watch their TV, have their dinners, go to bed, get up in the morning, go and do it all again. They go and do it all again, not once questioning their morality. Why don't they question their morality? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to that is they have not. They have not. They don't have morality. If that piece of paper says you've got to go around and steal their house, they'll do it. If the government said tomorrow you must paedophile children in public, they'll do it. They won't question it. They won't question it. Why? Because they don't possess the spirit. I possess the spirit. They don't. And they never beat me. Never. On God's earth would they ever beat me and take me down. I cannot get my head around why wait till US elections for this planet to be saved. Who knows? I mean, it's all, everything external is bread and circuses. Everything you see on the TV, bread and circuses. People sit there and just lap up their gravy with their piece of bread and get it down their throats, and they literally believe. Now, listen, if we were all homeless and we was on the streets and we didn't have no power and we couldn't switch these things on behind me, would we be so worried about this virus? Would we? If we was all homeless and we didn't have the ability to tune into communications and we were just out sitting in Mother Earth trying to get a little bit of grub here and there and trying to stay warm and stay blessed, would we be in this state of hysteria if we could never turn that square thing on behind me? No, I know I'm coming to you through the airwaves at the moment and it's leaving my little computer, traveling down the lines, and popping up and giving you exactly how it is for me. But it don't leave here like this. It leaves in bits, whatever it is that the internet works. And it just miraculously tunes up on your screen. Yeah? And then you can go back and watch all this later. And we're just puppet. I'm just a puppet. We're all men and women are just puppets, right? We're just the vibrations that are coming out of my mouth, you tune into. Okay? Fire and dig in, and we will all be okay. Yes, we will. Now, I'm someone at the moment that is so badly depriving the system. You've got no tomorrow, no mortgage, no taxation. The only thing they get out of me monetary-wise is when I go food shopping. That's it. If I want to buy some new clothes, or that's it. Maybe put a little bit of fuel in my van. That's it. I'm done. The system just does not get my energy at all anymore. And we're making waves now to set the trust straight by the evidence of life and all the other bits and bobs we're doing so that the trust can't be misconstrued. Because once the man is proved to be alive or the woman's proved to be alive, all bets are off and your property must be revested. That's their law, not mine. So whenever they give me jip and they say, I say, no, your law says, not my law. I don't have a bar card. Don't have a bar card. When you get into a judge and he says, if you carry on, I'm going to do you for contempt of court. Well, you can't. I don't have a bar card. I'm not part of your society. I'm not part of your organisation. That's when they throw the gauntlet in, because they then know that you know. They can only do someone for contempt of court. By the way, they've sent 150, 60 people this year alone to prison for contempt of court. They seem to love this new level of satanic power that they possess. Well, the people that they've sent to prison for that obviously didn't realise that they're not part of their society, that they're not the Mr. and Mrs. Fiction that they claim that they are. And you can only go to prison for contempt of court if you hold a bar card. Or you're part of their society, or you are the Mr. and the Mrs. that corporate fiction. What a mess we're in. But we will get there. We will shipshape and get out of this. Now, true equity. If you had true equitable standing and status in this world right here, right now, you wouldn't have any mental health issues. You wouldn't, because you'd be at peace with the world. You would be I'm at complete peace with the world. Because I know that anyone in the system that comes and tries to take stuff off of me has got to wrestle with their own demons. It's not for me. I'm standing in my true equitable standing as a man here in this realm. That we're all equal. All men are created equal. None can own another. That's a fact. But we're in a hell of a mess and we need to sort this out. But the only reason this is happening is because we've all been subverted. The system now claims ownership over our homes, our children, our cars, the roads. Why would I have to pay for all of these things to use my own creation? The roads are my creation. The homes, the people, everything here is our creation. Why are we paying these corporate service utility companies to use our own creations? Does that make sense? Why are we paying them? Why do we have to pay tax, insurance, MOTs? It might be deemed to be a good thing, whatever you, but that comes with own personal responsibility. You know, where's our own personal responsibility anymore? We're just all children to this state party, this all-seeing eye, this all-seeing God that we call the system that lambasts us and robs us 24/7, and we seem to love it even more. Look at everyone walking around with these masks on. If they said next week you've got to wear a nappy to accompany that mask, people would wear them. They'd be out there now, down the high streets buying their nappies, their designer nappies, maybe making their own nappies at home. And if the government said tomorrow you can paedophile children in public, that'd happen. No one would question. They'd just stand by and go, government says it's all right. Must be all right. Yeah. No, it's okay now. Boris said it's all right. It's all right. Tories are Fabians. Look it up. They are communists. Yeah, someone's been watching Daddy Dragon. But you're right. They are. It's a very communistic way of life. And I've just said to this woman where I've just been, I've just fixed some WC issues that she's had. She's a microbiologist, and she said there's something really fishy going on here. She said, me and my sister, we're not blah, blah, blah. You know, we're not happy with what's going on. I said, well, they've taken the coroner away. I said, you die of a heart attack, you go as COVID-19, and you're straight in the incinerator. Nowadays, that's it. No coroner, no cause of death, which don't bother me, because once you're dead, you're dead. In any case, what is of the spirit is of the spirit. What is of the flesh is of the flesh. May peace be upon the great man. And they've sidetracked all the law. It's communism. And I said to her, do you think all these measures that they've implemented right here, right now, like masks on buses, can't get on a bus, can't go into a shop without a mask, can't do this can't get a loaf of bread without a mask on, all the infrastructure, all the lights, all the one-way systems, all the boys with weapons making sure you toe the line, do you think that's going away? So I guarantee you now, people, you might seem to think it's fashionable to wear a mask. You might even be making your own designer masks at home to match your tit top. But in 10 years' time, are you going to be enjoying that experience? Or in a year's time, are you still going to be enjoying that experience and just be so tolerant as to think, I've got no choice. I've got to put a mask on. Government told me so. In 2-3 years, you're not going to be thinking that this is such a good gig no more. You're not going to be enjoying, because you're not walking a certain way in a high street, that you're going to get battered and bruised and arrested. You're not going to be enjoying that. It's going to happen. This ain't going away. The banks, cashless, it's not going away. They'll be cashless within 2 years. And then guess what, suckers? They're going to turn you off. The minute that card says no, that computer says no, you're toast. You won't be eating. Hunger Games. It's coming. It's here. It's here. But we got to fight with every fibre of our soul and spirit to stop this. We really have to. We really, really, really do. Otherwise, mankind is going to be lost. Now, you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. It should be your choice. It should be your choice to respect other people's freedoms, their boundaries, their liberties. When you have someone else coming up to you in a supermarket screaming at you because you've not got a mask on, they're bots. They believe the government so much that the government will run them into the Thames and laugh when they're dying, but they still love them nonetheless. They still have that massive respect. Old Boris has said we can go out today. Boris has said we can go to the pub today. Boris has said we can go to glory holes. The government have now just come out and said, if you want to have sex, you can only have sex with your missus outside. That's the COVID rules. Who's making up this fucktardery? But if you've not got a partner and a long-term suffering, trouble and strife or whatever, then we recommend that you go to a glory hole. What bum fluffery is this? They're laws for bots, ladies and gentlemen. They're not laws for men and women of the spirit, let me tell you. So, glory holes. How do these people, honourable, my right honourable friend, the Conservative MP for bum fluffery, has he know about glory holes? Maybe Tony Blair took him. There's a picture of Tony Blair of basically when he come into power, and I hate using that word, telling them they got power. They're thugs. They really are just mafioso that wear suits. But he got caught doing something weird in a public toilet with another gentleman, which is, it's his free will choice. But there's a picture of him with his long hair, his little bit of a mullet cut, smiling, and you look at his eyes. That man has got the eyes of a sociopath, of a narcissist. I'm not stereotyping. You look at them eyes, tell me they're normal. They don't have nothing in them. It's just a narcissistic tosser. But yet, all these bum flufferers, we let them get, go to a glory hole now for sex. So how many people are sat at home? Mildred, what's a glory hole? I don't know, George. Have a look on Google. Oh, look at this, Mildred. Look. You put your digit in a hole. I wonder if there's someone on the other side with a machete going to chop it off so you can bleed to death. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? It's a bit risk and reward, isn't it, a glory hole? Standing to attention, Mr. Bum Fluffer. Yes. All our MPs, and they're all getting hush money right now. They're all being hushed up. They're being told to be good little pets and to do what the fuck they're told. They've openly admitted this. We've got MPs around the country saying, yeah, we're being paid to shut up right now. The doctor's surgeries, you can't go to a doctor's surgery. They're not seeing people. They're just doing it over the phone. If you need medication, you can go and see your local drug dealer to get your heart medication. No one's talking about immune system and boosting your immunity. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. No one's talking about exercise and well-being. No, heaven forbid. Keep buying the pizzas. Keep buying the Coca-Cola. Keep eating the McDonald's. You love that sweet tasting meat of McDonald's, didn't you? If only you knew what went in it. Anyway, which is wise words. Trudy all love you too, darling. Jesus Jones, beautiful. So this one this morning is called Equity. And the reason why everyone is unhinged, everyone is having mental health issues is because no one has their inherent right to property respected anymore. The system has put us into this communistic way, and you will all see it at some point in the near future with what they got planned. You and your families are going to have no choice but to make a stand. You're going to either sink or swim very soon. In the next 2 years, you are all going to be sinking or swimming, and you might even all start turning on your families. It's probably going to come. It's proper Hunger Games, especially when they turn off them credit cards. You've not paid your tax bill this month. Card goes off. Can't get food. You've not paid your council tax. Card goes off. You've jaywalked. You've got speeding, 36 and a 30, and you contested it. So we've turned your card off. Your justice now has all been administered by computers, ladies and gentlemen. Most summary offences are done by a computer. The computer just spits out all this garbage. Well, I just return what the computer spits out and tells it to do one. I'm not having that. I'm not living in a country where a computer decides the fate of a man or a woman. What is that all about? But because we don't have our true equitable standing, this is why all this goes on. Can't pay the council tax, and then you have a row with the missus. Oh, you're not working. Now, I've just been with this couple this morning. I've just had a couple of weeks down in Devon, Dorset way, having a nice time. They work for a utility company, and he's saying, yeah, no, we're all good at the minute. He said, we've all been furloughed, whatever this furlough thing is. He said, but in about 2 weeks' time, all that's stopping. I went, you got to wait till all this furlough stuff stops. You're going to see Hunger Games then, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to see Hunger Games like you've never seen Hunger Games before. Once they turn all these furlough payments off, oh my God. Everyone's at home at the moment, all being furloughed. You try buying a horse at the minute. Horses have gone through the roof because everyone's buying horses because they've furloughed. They've got nothing better to do. They're buying dogs. You try and buy a dog at the moment. Dogs are fortunes. You wait till the furlough machine switches off. Them dogs will be going to Batsy Dog Zone. Them horses are going to go to wreck and ruin. Why? Because your tap's been turned off. The government dick has been turned off. And you love the government dick. You'll do anything for the government dick because Boris says so, because Priti Patel says so. They're all tyrannical masters, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm hoping at some point you will figure this out. Amazing how this furlough existed before all this happened. There you go. Problem, reaction, solution. All these green light, red lights in Audis now. Green light says you can get, it's like jumping off an aeroplane, parachute jumping, doing a bungee jump. Green light says go, red light, that's communism. It's all done for everybody's safety. It's all for your safety, people. It's all to keep you safe. All you hear on the radio, stay safe. It's for your safety. Oh, thank you, government. You're so wonderful. Amazing how this furlough, yeah, it is. But you wait till that furlough stuff stops. You're going to see people with their firms going to say, oh, it's sticky here. Furlough stopped. Got no work for you. We're going to have to lay you off. Oh my days. You wait till this furlough stuff stops. It's you're going to see people doing things to other people you never thought you'd see. I tell you. All by design, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This is all done by design. So I'll leave you with that. The reason why we're in so much mental health, the reason why people don't know themselves anymore, they're all timid, they're all vague, they're not really, is because they've had the shit knocked out of them. They've all had family members robbed and stolen by the state. They've all had their properties, their cars, probably been beaten up by a copper. That's the reason all this mental health. If families were left alone, if families were left alone in their property and their rights were respected, we'd be fine. We're a country that's decayed. Not the country, the land is as it was. The land and the soil and the trees and the birds are absolutely as they was and always intended to be. It's us that's got out of sync with nature. But the reason why you lot tune in, the reason why you also passionately go out and talk to your friends and families about this and that is because you are not a bot, because you possess the soul and the spirit. And that's why you're happy to be alone in life. That's why you're happy to walk your own path without fear. You're happy to walk down a path while everyone's going the other way. You will go the other way. Why? Because you possess the spirit, because you are connected to source. You are connected to the spiritual realms. You are connected to the etheric form. You feel it. You don't need anybody else telling you that you're this, you're that, and get wrapped up in your ego. You know it. You know it. You don't need anyone's qualification. You are more than happy walking your own path. You are more than happy living in your own kingdom of your creation. Yeah? In love, in wisdom. While all this other stuff is going on, you seem to be as cool as a cucumber. Why? Because you're in the moment. You're in the spirit. The spirit is upon you. And that's why you feel like you feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in as always. I might come and do a little bit of a Facebook Live later today. We will see. I'm going to go and do some painting now, get changed, do some painting. So, loves me own bubble. That's because you're in your own etheric form. Trudy, and you don't need anyone else to tell you how great you are. You already know. That's the secret. Once you know how great you are inside and not outside, you're home, ladies and gentlemen. You've arrived home. Well done. I'll see you all soon. Stay true to yourself. Stand in your equity. Remember the words trespass and property. So powerful. So powerful. I'm just here doing God's work for you lot, for myself, for the betterment of humanity. And I hope, well, I know that we're having an effect, ladies and gentlemen. I know that the light beats the darkness 24/7. I know that you walk through the fire, you challenge the system, and the system's not there. It disappears. Why? Because it has to disappear. It cannot harm you. It can't harm you. When you stand in the life, the truth, the love, you love everybody, you stand up for the etheric form, you're in the spirit, there's no force on this planet that's going to harm you. You're protected. I want you to understand that. So, the reason why you're so as cool as a cucumber, happy to be yourself, happy to be with other people, but happy to just to be on your own, smiling all the time in that moment, is because you're tuned in. You're tuned in to that vibration of pure source energy in the spirit world. That's the truth. I love you all. Stay blessed. Have great days. Yeah. I'll see you soon.